All right. Hey, everybody. It's Monday night, April 9th. And so thanks for tuning in. We thought we'd spend some time tonight, Meg Johnson and myself. My name is Dee Corchin, and we thought that we would spend some time on talking about the topic of sponsoring, because it really is such a gift that we can give to other people. But as health coaches, it can be something that can be a little scary. We might not quite understand who gets paid and how we get paid on it, or how we could even be successful helping somebody else, especially if we're brand new on the journey as a coach ourselves. So we thought we'd spend some time on that, and we had some ideas of what to cover, but was talking to a few coaches today and just wanted to let you pipe in maybe and share a little bit, maybe what your questions are that you would like us to cover tonight. So Linda and Sherry, one of you guys, I know we talked today.
You want me to pipe in?
Sure, pipe.
Well, I don't know if it's not really a question, but the one thing we talked about a little bit was, I guess one of my bigger fears about approaching anybody about coaching is my lack of confidence in my abilities as a coach. And I don't feel like I can really coach somebody else to coach if I don't feel good about, how well I do it. So, how do you overcome that fear and that feeling?
Okay, that's a good one. And then you mentioned another one to me that I thought was interesting, the fact of maybe feeling a little odd about it when you ask a friend or somebody close to you, like that they might think there's an ulterior motive.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, they might roll their eyes and be like, oh, geez, she just wants me to, jump on that pyramid thing that they all say that all the time, and I have a fear, I guess, of making them feel pressured and making them feel like it's just really for my own gain, and not as genuine as it could be. So that holds me back quite a bit.
Okay, fair enough. And how about you, Linda?
Well, actually, I feel like recently I've gotten pretty comfortable with this idea of inviting current clients, and sort of shifting to that mindset of when people start to notice that someone's doing really well on the program, and you're at that place where you're going to say to them, you send them the referral letter. I'm really comfortable with saying, I'd like you to either refer me, or why don't you think about bringing some of your friends along and coaching them? So I've been pretty okay with that. As a matter of fact, I've even reached out to a few people that aren't on the program, kind of thinking like, who's on my heart that could do this? And I mentioned to you, I have a nephew who's a martial arts instructor who I know really could use some income. And then I have another former student who just recently got certified to be a personal trainer. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this would be a great thing for her to do. She's a young mom with a young family. So I have had conversations with these people, but what I find it the most difficult is having the second conversation. So when they say, oh, no, I don't think I want to do that, or I have too much going on in my life, then I, again, feel like, well, I don't want to pressure them, because then, just like Sherry said, they're going to think, what is she trying to sell me, or what's in it for her? So that's where I need some help with, formulating that. Where do we go from there?
Okay. All right. We'll definitely touch on that as well. And Beth Bilton is not on, but Beth had shared with me that she definitely had concerns and considerations, sometimes just making assumptions, kind of pre-qualifying, like, well, they wouldn't be interested for whatever reason, and actually making that decision and then using that as a reason not to offer. Anything else? Anybody else have anything we haven't covered yet? Okay. Zena?
Well, I see so many people that this would be so wonderful for, and I want it for so many people. And my conversations, it's like after our conversation, there's just quietness, and and people are saying, well, I'm just not ready yet, or, I just want to lose weight now. But it's interesting how many people I want it for and see it so great for, but I haven't had that experience yet of people jumping on board.
Well, you've got a few good coaches there, Zena. You've got some good coaches. So, but I understand. And what we're going to realize, and this is what's so interesting, 7 years into this, is that you're going to find, and hopefully we can help start to model that this parallels so much to how we offer the program to coaching, for the program. And right, how many people in your world do you think, oh my gosh, this would be perfect for? They're not interested. Right? Or there's somebody in your world you think it would be, but you're hesitant to ask them. So, Meg, why don't you, if you don't mind, jump in here now? And I think every one of these thoughts or concerns you and I have talked through on your journey as a health coach and now a business coach. So do you mind piping in kind of what your experience has been?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, Courtney, you may have one too that you wanted to pipe in from earlier. Would you mind?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Something that I had thought about, just being busy with kids and stuff like that. Wondering, sometimes I feel like I might not have the time to like properly train a coach. So I think that might be something that gets in the way of just not feeling like, do I have enough time or margin to like really do it well? So yeah.
Thank you. That was a big one for me too, when I was first getting started, because, when you're handling your own book of business, thinking about taking that responsibility was kind of big for me. But what I realized is I have D. And so the same goes for whatever the chain is for you. Like, your business coach would love to help you get started and help bring somebody else on board. And they probably have a bigger capacity than you may. So bring them into the loop. I love that. I love getting in on the loop with somebody that's just starting out, because it's just so exciting. So thank you for sharing that one, Courtney. That one definitely resonates. Before we go through some of these, I just want to stop and say, I don't know if y'all can remember when you first became a coach and you were a new coach and you had somebody just sign up with Optavia and they got started. And if you are like me, I prayed, like, God, please help this person make this work. Like, man, I really want this for them. And it did. And then I had another person and it worked for them, and then another person. And y'all, I knew it worked for me, and I've seen it work for other people. And now it works for every single person. And I literally in 8 months haven't found one person that this program has not changed their life and got them healthy. I mean, I have chills just talking about it. I mean, this program is the bomb. And so I share just so boldly now, because I know that this program could be the solution for so many people, because it changed my world. It's changed Courtney's world, Elena's. It's changing people's worlds left and right. So I got that experience as a health coach, and now I'm at that place where I get the opportunity to work with awesome health coaches like Courtney and Elena and all kinds of people, right? And so now I'm seeing them grow these stable businesses, right? At first, when they first came on board, I remember I prayed, like, okay, God, please bring clients, like, please help them build a business like me. And he did it. And now I see time and time again of people who are changing lives, and like, there's just such a ripple effect of health. And I love it. It gets me all fired up. And so it's so easy now to share about health coaching, because, man, like, first of all, like, it works, right? And it's so fun to see people lose weight. But second of all, Dee, when I first got started, she gave me this I think analogy of thinking of yourself like a flight attendant, right? You're walking down the aisle of that airplane, asking people, do you want to drink? Do you want to drink? Now, hopefully it's a diet drink or water, right? But that's the way I see myself. Like, when I share about Optavia as the program, or I share about Optavia from a coach perspective, I'm not attached to the answer. Like, if it's not for you, that's okay. And if you don't want to be a coach, that's okay. But I know what it could do for you. So out of love for you, and because I'm just honoring what it's done for me, I've got to share it. So I don't know if that resonates, but man, when Dee told me that, it changed my world and how I could communicate with other people. So just wanted to share that one. And hopefully it might resonate with some of y'all. And Dee, I don't know if you want to go through each of the thoughts that people had as far as fears. But that's certainly that was kind of where I was coming from, and that's where I've been. I know bringing up that second conversation is always hard after they said no, but I go back and think, when Dee brought it up to me, I was allergic. I was like, ooh, like, no, I don't want to do this. No, thank you. She brought it up probably 4 times before I was like, okay, I think maybe I'll try this and see what happens. And like, look what happened. And if she would have given up on me, my whole world would have been different, right? So
can I ask you a question around that, Meg? So I asked you the first time, answer was no, right? Same thing happened with the program. Do you remember we talked about the program? It took you months before you were ready. I followed up a few times, and I remember you were quite like, no, thanks, and that was okay. I just, you didn't tell me not to call back, so I called back. But with coaching, when I asked you the first time, no way. When I asked you again, what went through your head? Was it like, oh gosh, here she is bugging me, or was it something else?
It kind of honestly felt like an honor. I think you wanted to bring us to a 3-way call with Susan, and so that made me feel like, ooh, maybe you see something in me that I don't see. And so I loved the idea of meeting with you and your coach. I thought that was pretty cool, just to explore and gather information. So I definitely wasn't annoyed. And I do think we have to like toe that line with people, especially when they're allergic to the idea. And so I try to always say, like, look, listen, there is no pressure from me. And one of the things I learned from Susan Palace is using the phrase, all I know is. So I use that a lot with people, and I probably use that with you, Elena. All I know is this program is rocking my socks off and blessing me in ways I never imagined. Like, no pressure. Like, you don't have to do it. But this is all I know, right? And so then it doesn't feel like you're like pushing it down someone's throat, but you're really giving it to them to say yes. And Elena, can you tell us like what that was like for you? Because you told me no, and you didn't actually know I was going to ask you this question. I didn't either, so hope this is okay. But you told me no, and then you called me back like a couple weeks later, and you're like, actually, I think I want to do this. And you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
You're on mute, Elena.
There you go. Oh, no.
Say something? No.
Okay. Well, I'll go for my memory. I remember getting this, and tell me if you can just start talking, and we'll see if it works. But it says you're unmuted. Can you talk? No. So you left me a message, and you were like, remember when we talked about health coaching and I told you no? And you can nod if I'm telling the truth and tell them if I'm not, right? But you said, remember when you did that? I actually was just talking about the program, and I didn't realize how passionate I was about it, but I think I want to do this. And now, like, boom, you're an associate director helping all these people. So I think planting that seed, and everybody's clapping for you because you're just awesome. Yeah. So planting that seed is powerful with like, no, you just keep on planting the seed every time the spirit pricks you. And I feel like that happens when I'm talking to people like, oh, like, because we see the vision before anybody ever does. And you just got to be faithful to cast that vision and leave it up to them. Because we don't want people to be I'm not collecting health coaches like Beanie Babies, right? Like that's not going to be good for anybody. We want a health coach who wants to do it and who wants to help other people get healthy. So hopefully
I think that was actually probably one of the best points to bring up at this point is that we're just looking for, well, one thing that I think is really good is there's a difference between dropping an idea like, hey, you should become a health coach. Like there really needs to be an attachment to why it's going to be of value to them, right? The what's in it for me. Because if we don't, it's just going to seem like one more thing to do. It sounds scary. It sounds daunting. Why would they want to? Right? So Meg, you've gotten really good at listening to people, and like if there's we want to get to know our clients and figure out, are they looking for more meaning and purpose? Do they need more money? Right? Or are they just super excited and referring everybody and they're going to be basically coaching them anyway? But we want to be delivering in a way that shows them why it's of value to them. And I will be honest, what I've been coaching a long time. And the sooner we do this, and the sooner we offer coaching, and the sooner that clients become coaches in their journey, it could be a week into it, 2 weeks, a month in, but the sooner they do it, the better, because they're in the excitement zone, right? It's automatically going to elevate and increase their likelihood of success, because now it's just multiplying the energy. And what I have found, and you're going to hear this from your clients, they're going to say, well, I just want to take care of me first. I want to get to my goal and make sure I can keep it off, right? They're going to set all these rules. And then what's going to happen is because it happens on everybody's journey, at some point they're going to fatigue. They're going to start to slip up on their journey. And then they're going to think, well, how on earth could I coach? Because I can't even manage myself. But it would have been in their best interest 3 months ago to start coaching, right? So everything we do is in their best interest, right? If somebody does it early on, number one, more and more people are going to get healthy. And that's what this is about. But we want our clients successful long term. So we want to be offering early and often, right? The first time is you're going to get that allergic reaction, but we want to offer early. Although I did one yesterday and this girl was like, actually, I'm kind of interested in that. And that was on the share call. So I'm bringing it up in the share call now. What I say at the end of the share call, I'm like, hey, I got a question for you. Is there anybody who would want to do this with you? Is there anybody who want to do this with you right now? Because we know that they're, and I offer an incentive for that. And then if they'll say no, I'll say, well, can I just tell you what's going to happen? And I tell them, like, you're going to start this. 2 things are going to happen. You're going to start noticing your world around you and who needs this, and people are going to want to know what you're doing. So they're going to want, at that point, you're going to have the option. You can refer them to me, or we'll be able to talk about you coaching them, and they're going to want to work with you. And I say it on the first one. So the more you start to talk about this, and the more we can mentally believe that it's in their best interest, because it is, and I'll show you some financials as well, that's where it's going to make sense to people. And the more we do this, and the more that in our client group, and they see that this becomes the norm, the less big of a deal it's going to be for everybody. But I think the number one thing is always talk about it, why it's in their interest. So if you're getting crickets, it's just an opportunity area for our delivery with it. And so sometimes I'll even ask the question, I'll let them talk, and they'll say, hey, can I offer something that I think could really, can I talk about something that I think would really help you long term? Get their permission, and then I'll bring it up at that point. So asking again is very, very important, like Meg said, and we'll talk about how to get them started. We're also talking about making money off them.
And can I interject real quick? One of the things, hopefully by now it goes without saying, but just wanted to mention this. We're not trying to get people to become, well, first of all, we're not trying to get anybody to become a coach, because that ain't working, right? But we don't want people to become a coach just so we can, for some kind of pyramid scheme, which in my mind was why Dee brought up coaching in the beginning. I was like, oh, you want to make money off of me? Okay. And she's going to show you in just a minute, Dee's not making money off of me. I'm making money off of me, like hand over foot. So Dee's going to show you that. But yeah, just hopefully our hearts by now, and like we have a heart to help people get healthy. And if you came to our Elevate Now, you saw that very powerful example that Jamil showed about how we can help more people get healthy. And that is when we help and empower other people to become health coaches and start guiding them. Like, we're not the experts. I don't have a nutrition degree. I'm just a coach because I know it worked for me, and I know it's going to work for my friends, right? And that's my heart. It's like, man, this has been freedom for me and my family, and I want to help other people feel that. So I hopefully that goes without saying, but just wanted to throw that caveat out there that the purpose of this call isn't to get a bunch of clients to help us make money, but really to help other people get healthy and get what they want out of life.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, go, Elena.
I fixed it.
There she is.
Yay. Okay. I was just going to say, and I fidgeted with it and I wrote down what I wanted to say, that when Meg first told me, like from the beginning, I was a fitness instructor on the side. So like it sort of meshed, but as we all did, we immediately said no, just like how Meg was like, whoa, no, one thing at a time. But it planted a seed that it needed to be my idea. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want this to be Meg's idea to become a health coach. It had to be my idea. So because she planted it, and then like the next week was like, by the way, and this was so subtle about keeping it fresh on my mind. Then eventually when it was my idea, it came to fruition. But just the way that she phrased it was very it's balls in your court. And so it was just a very open, no pressuring, because at the end it felt like my idea, not like Meg's idea. Obviously she planted the seed. So
yeah, I love that. I love that. And I mean, Meg, thanks for pointing that out. I mean, at the end of the day, what is the goal of Optavia? Is to help bring optimal well-being to other people. And that's going to happen in, two ways, or both, hopefully, is that they're either going to do the program, right? And we know everybody could benefit from our program. There is no one out there that's in perfect health that could not benefit from Optavia and one of the habits of health that we offer. And, you know, our clients, we don't make money off our clients, right? Our clients pay the company, right? And then the company pays us because they know that clients who work with a coach do better. So, and so then from a financial standpoint, a well-being standpoint, and from a long-term success standpoint, and we do have the study that shows that clients that become coaches are 5 times more likely to be successful long-term. That is in their best interest, right? To offer coaching, because, you know, what Meg said in terms of blessing the socks off her family financially, what it's done for my family, I mean, it's incredible, the freedom it's given us. If you don't know what you're making from Optavia, your assignment after this is to go check your bank accounts, because you are paid extremely well as a health coach. And that's because you're delivering an amazing service to improve humanity. So number one, know what you're making so that you can authentically speak to other people, so that this is not just a little hobby that we do. You are a professional, like you're a professional coach, and you're being paid as such. So, so yeah, that's always where our heart is to deliver. And I'll show you some numbers. I kept it very, very simple. But Meg, maybe we can talk a little bit more on a larger scale. So I'm just going to share for a second a screen about, just so you can understand compensation, because the question does come up sometimes, like, how would I be compensated if I bring on a health coach? So one of the reasons that we bring on, we know it's always in the client's benefit. The coach is always going to benefit the most from this. They're going to benefit from the meaning and purpose. They're going to benefit from helping their friends and family, and they're going to benefit financially. What it helps you do as your business owner is to answer Courtney's question from a do I have time for this? It's actually more, you leverage your time better if you're coaching a coach, because if you're coaching a coach who is helping 5 people get healthy, that you'll probably after they go through their initial training, you'll probably spend 20 to 30 minutes a week with that coach, mentoring them, but then they're spending all the time with their clients, right? Like, so you coaching 5 clients would take you a lot longer than it would take for them to coach 5 clients and you just to mentor them. And especially like somebody like Meg, I mean, Meg has, 50 clients. So I couldn't do that on my own. I'd never be able to even meet those people. But so I can spend time with Meg, mentor her, and then she can help a world of people and make, build a beautiful career with that. So the other thing to remember is that about 1 out of, for every 5 to 6 clients you have, 1 is a health coach candidate. I mean, that is the statistics in terms of the company, in terms of the clients that become coaches. So you probably have them in your mix. And what we want to be doing is exactly what Meg said. We want to be using your mentorship line to introduce and reinforce this idea. So celebration, tips calls, we call them now. But, once your client's on program 7 days, 14 days, a month, we want to bring them to your coach, just let them start to get to know each other. We want to show that we are duplicatable and that there's multiple layers of people that are doing this, so it doesn't seem like you are the one and only person. And then if somebody wants to explore it, the actual coaching idea, bring them. That's exactly what I did with Meg. I was like, hey, why don't you come to talk to Susan? I wanted her to see it bigger than just me. So that's why I did it. And it works well when we do that. So when you bring on a health coach, we always want to be 1 level above what our health coach is, in terms of, in order for to be compensated, like you want to be a senior coach or higher when you bring in a health coach. You don't have to. I mean, everything applies, and your coach will link arms with you to train them. But when you're a level higher than them, then there starts to be some compensation that happens. So this might go deeper than time we have on this call, so we may have to follow up on this next week. But to give you an idea, to build to an executive director business, also having coaches is going to help build some stability to your business, because you can build your business solely with clients and build by volume only. And you can build a nice business that way, but it's a very vulnerable business because it depends solely on you. Solely on you. So if you get sick, your mother gets sick, the kids get sick, you go on vacation, something happens, and you can't get out there and market and do what you typically do, there's a great risk that your business could go down. If you have clients that fall off program, and they do, right? Or they meet their goals and they roll on, it's constant pressure on you to get to those numbers all the time. If you're supporting and working with a team of coaches, well, then you can reach your rankings and levels because the company recognizes that we're sponsoring and we're now using our time instead of coaching clients, we're coaching coaches. So the company will compensate us for that. So if you're a senior coach, I mean, every health coach makes 15% on their order. Any order, a health coach makes 15% commission. So then a senior coach is at the next ranking, you're going to make 20% commission. And that means that you've got $1,200 in volume, 5 ordering entities. That always applies no matter what. You can climb the ranks from there. You'll see they go in $1,200 increments. And I showed here, and I'll share this in our group. You can do that by yourself with just volume, or you could do, like, you could be a manager rank, make this higher commission rank if you're the senior coach and you have one senior coach working with you. Okay, so that automatically pushes you up. And so, for example, if you go on down to like executive director ranking, it's $6,000 in frontline volume. Or look, there's 4 different ways you could get to that rank on your, with coaches. So, so it's a great way to build. And so what's nice is, like, let's say you build to executive director with 6,000 frontline volume, and then you have 1 or 2 clients fall off. Well, you've been used to making this higher commission rate, and that's actually 31% if you're certified. But if you had a senior coach working with you, well, even if your numbers slipped a little bit, you would still reach the ranking of executive director and still be in that qualification for the higher commission. So it really builds stability. So it's like you're working together. They're earning money, you're earning, and a lot more people are getting healthy. So I wanted to just take a minute to kind of show from a compensation standpoint what this translates to. And I'm going to show it on a very basic level, but I want you to see how a coach is compensated and where that comes from. There's basically 31% commission plus some bonuses above that on every order. So if you're a certified executive director, you can earn that 31% yourself on every order that you have directly under you. Honestly, when I found that out, I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, if there's 31%, I'm in for it. Show me what to do and I'll get there. But that's 31%. If you bring in a health coach who is less than, like, when they come in and they're a health coach, they have 1 order, they're going to earn 15%. But because you're investing your time with them, because you're going to be doing 3-way calls with them, etc., you're going to be investing a lot of time. So they'll earn 15%, and then whatever level you are, you're going to earn the difference in commission there. So if your commission rate is 26% and they're earning 15, you're going to earn 11% commission on their order. All right, compensation. It's a little bit confusing. I'll show you what it looks like, and that goes on up the line until the full 31% is exhausted. So let's say you're a health coach, you are a senior coach, and you bring on a client who has, or a coach who has 1 order. An average order we get compensated based on the food rate, the fuel lanes, is $3.56. So the sponsor coach is a senior coach. The next coach in line is an executive director. The new coach is going to make $53.40 on that order. You are going to make $17.80. Okay. So, who made more? The person you offered coaching to, they made more. And then the next person in line, the executive director, is going to make $28.48. The certification bonus is going to go to the first person. That additional 3% will go to whoever's certified in that line. So you can look at this one example, and the person that benefits the most is the health coach, right? So I don't want you to ever lose sleep that they're thinking that you're making money off them, because anything that you're making in these early stages, you're investing time with them. You're investing time, whatever, and it's only fair that you would be compensated for it. As they increase, their knowledge increase, and they reach higher ranks and they're earning higher commissions, your commission rate goes down, 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 down. And that's what Meg was referring to. Like when she's a fully, integrated executive director, she makes 31% on every order. I make like a 2% bonus on her orders. So she's making 31%, I'm making 2%. A huge difference. So I've got several different examples here, but you can even see, five orders, if your coach gets their 5 orders, that's $1,780 in frontline volume. The coach earns 20%. They're a senior coach. They make $356. The sponsor, if they were director level, makes $106. The next ED in line makes $35. So again, the coach that you bring on is making the most. There are some additional bonuses after that, some override bonuses, but they're nominal in terms of what this is. So does that make sense in some way for you to break it down? I think we're gonna leave this call at that. I'm gonna go ahead and post. We do have a new client checklist, right? So a very easy to follow checklist. I'll go ahead and put it out there because I know some of you guys have new coaches, but we'll do some training around it. But basically what we're going to be showing is that this is just, it's duplicatable, and it's just a system that we follow, and that your coach will link arms with you, especially as you're just starting to coach a coach, and do it with you. Meg, do you want to speak to that a little bit, like when you got started with coaching and how I helped you?
Sure. Yeah, no, that was really helpful. I was scared to death. Like, obviously I had no experience, right? So I was scared to death. So having Dee walk alongside me made all the difference. And I could be confident because I had her in my pocket, right? And so we did my first 5 share calls together, and I just took notes. And then we started doing them. At first, Dee just talked for a couple of times. And then we started doing them together, and then I did the last couple. And that really was a good way for us to transition. And I would ask Dee at the end when I did them by myself, like, okay, how did I do? What did I do better? And I remember she was like, okay, you talked about the habits of health a lot. Like, I might need to cut that back, right? So little things, because we can't hear ourselves talk, that was really helpful. So if your business coach is offering that, and they are, take them up on that opportunity, because you get there. Don't feel bad. I hear a lot of coaches say, I feel so bad. Don't feel bad, because like you just saw, we're getting paid to help train you, and we want to train you to be successful. And I know with any of my clients, if I'm not available, they can go to Dee or any of my coaches. So the same is true. And I've learned so much from hearing how Dee does it. I have another coach that every quarter she wants to do a share call with me just to be reminded of the principles, right? And so that's an offer for any of my coaches, right? And I would think with your business coach too. So definitely reach out for the mentorship, because that's our heart. Like, we love this. We get fired up every time we get to do a share call and hear someone else's life that's going to be changed. So please take your business coach up on that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we just dipped our toe in this. Has it been helpful? Do you guys like it helpful so far? Would you like to continue the conversation? Maybe do another one? Okay. So we'll continue, because I think this is something that we all intrinsically desire, to help other people. I mean, every one of us is on this because somebody offered it to us, and we're having fun with it. So we do want to share this gift. So we want to ease anything that you might have around it and show you that it's as duplicatable as the 5-in-1 system is for any client. The coaching is just as duplicatable. So we don't want to hold our clients back from this experience, because we might be afraid of it. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you guys so much. I want to respect your time. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. Thank you, Meg, for your valuable contribution, everybody who shared. And we'll talk to you next week after Go Global. Bye, you guys.